everyone, very welcome to this video. In this video, I'll teach you chapter 4, motion in a plane, and next topic is addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. So, in the previous classes, we see little bit the various concepts regarding vectors, very minor concepts. Now, now we are going to see addition of vector, which is really very important. Very important, and always this question used to come in exams, any kind of exam you see. Addition of vectors, its proof, definition, and again, yes, numerical problem is based upon this is really important, and this topic is always used, will always be used in your higher classes. So, study very nicely this one. So, addition of vectors, let us see what is this. Remember, we are going to add two vectors. Can we add two vectors directly? We can see yes or no also. How? Let us see. Two vectors can be added directly. Remember this. Two vectors can be added directly only when they are in the same direction. I am repeating it once again. Two vectors can be added directly. Directly, what is very important. Two vectors can be added directly only when they are in the same direction. Example, I cap plus I cap. Two vectors. There are two vectors. One is I cap, this is I cap. Can I add them directly? Answer is yes, I can add them directly because this is same as a variable only. Twice I cap. So direction will remain same, but their magnitude will get doubled. So you see, two vectors are there. We can add very easily directly. Directly we can add very easily. But if I cap plus j cap, can I add them? Answer is no. Directly we cannot add them. What does it mean? Can it never be added? If I say like this, it is wrong. Answer is that we can add them. So remember that two vectors can be added directly only when they are in the same direction. So if they are not in the same direction, then also they can be added. Okay, there are two different methods to add the vectors even though they are not in the same direction. So what we can write here? Two vectors can be added. Only when we added directly. This directly what is the important? Directly only when they are in the same direction. They are in same direction. They are in same direction. If they are not in the same direction, if they are not in same direction, there are two different method to add them. And the number one is called triangle law. And second one is called parallelogram law. Triangle law of vector addition, and second one is parallelogram law of vector addition. Now we'll see one by one both of them. So let us proceed with first triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law. Triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. Now, so what is triangle law? Obviously, vectors will not be in the same direction. If they are not in the same direction, then also we can add them. So that we are going to see. So two vectors will be given to us. Suppose one vector here is this one. So let me name it A vector. Another vector is like this. What is the name? B vector. Whether they are in the same direction? Answer is no. Can we add them? Yes, we can add them. So if A vector and B vector are in this direction, then the resultant is given by this. This will be R vector. So according to triangle covectorization, this definition part is the definition. Definition is very important in your study. So according to the definition, if this is A vector and this is B vector, then the resultant R vector will be represented by A vector plus B vector. A vector plus B vector. Resultant A vector can be represented in the terms of A and B. So A vector, R vector will be equal to A vector plus B vector. Now, how we suppose this A, B, and R is not given? Then how will you get to know that which one is resultant, which one is A, and which one is B? Let us see once again for that. Suppose there are three vectors. Now here it is given that one is A, another one is A vector, second one is B vector, and third one is R vector. Now which one is A and which one is B and which one is R? That we want to identify. So how to identify that? Let us see. Here you see at this point, these two vectors are co-initial vectors because these two vectors originated from the same point. But at this point you see, these two vectors ended at the same point. So the vector which is both co-initial and co-terminus is called resultant. The vector which is both co-initial and co-terminus, okay, is represented as resultant. You see this R, here it is co-initial, here it is co-terminus. Which one will be? Can it be resultant? Answer is no. Why? Because although it is co-terminus, but here it is not co-initial. This cannot be resultant. Why? Because here it is co-initial, but at this point this is not co-terminus. But here you see, which one is R? It will be. You see which one is R? Guess it. So R will be this below portion. Why? This below vector. Because this is both co-terminus here and here co-initial. That is why this will be resultant. So this will be A vector, this will be B vector, and this will represent resultant. This will represent resultant. So I hope you are clear with this. What is resultant? How the resultant is calculated in triangle covector. Now we will see that. We will see analytic method to find its magnitude and direction. Analytic method to find its magnitude and direction. To find the magnitude and direction portion. Magnitude and direction portion. For that, let us draw it. Okay. I draw a perpendicular from here, and this perpendicular will join with this vector when it is extended. So this one is A vector, this one is B vector, and this one is considered as O. Now, if this is named as P, this is named as N, and this is named as B, this corner is named as. If we take P and suppose we take Q only, no problem, we can take anything. Now, this resultant is oriented at the angle beta with the horizontal A vector. The A vector, this resultant is oriented at the angle beta, and suppose this angle is nothing but theta. This angle is theta. Now, in this triangle PQN, in triangle PQN, what we can say about PN and PN by PQ? PN by PQ. If this is the triangle, this is PN is base and this one is hypotenuse. Base by hypotenuse is equal to cos theta. Pn will be equal to PQ is equal to nothing but B. So if you put here B, it will be nothing but B cos theta. Similarly, what will be Qn by PQ? Qn by PQ will be equal to Qn by PQ will be equal to sin theta because this is perpendicular and this one is hypotenuse. And PQ is equal to B, that is why Qn will be equal to B sin theta. B sin theta. B sin theta. Now applying Pythagoras theorem in triangle OQN. If I apply, what we get here? OQ square must be equal to ON square plus QN square. Okay. So what is the value of ON? ON can be break into two parts. OP plus PN whole square. OP plus PN equal to ON and plus QN is here. Square will be there. So what is the value of OP? OP is nothing but A. This vector is A, so its magnitude is only A. And what is Pn? Pn value is B cos theta. A plus B cos theta. Whole square will be there. What is the value of Qn? B sin theta whole square. If you break this, A square plus twice AB cos theta plus what will be there? Cos square theta. Sorry. If you break, this will be B square cos square theta. Plus, if you break this, you will get B square sin square theta. Now here, A square will be as it is. Between this, if you take common, B square is the common, and inside cos square theta plus sin square theta, and cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. That is why it will be B square plus twice AB cos theta. Now, OQ is equal to what? Nothing but R. Its magnitude is R, so here will be R. So resultant R will be equal to what? A square plus B square plus twice AB cos theta. So this is the magnitude of resultant. This is the magnitude of resultant with respect to A and B in terms of A and B. Now, since R is a resultant, which is a vector, so as already I told you, when a vector is there, always you have to find both magnitude and direction. So this is the magnitude part. The direction part is given by tan beta. This is magnitude. We have calculated here magnitude, and direction is given by tan beta. Always remember this. Direction is given by tan theta. Tan of angle is indicate direction. Tan of angle always indicate direction. So tan theta will be equal to perpendicular by base. Here what is perpendicular? Perpendicular is Qn and base is nothing but ON. What is the value of Qn? Qn is B sin theta. And what is the value of ON? ON equal to OP plus PN. What is OP? OP is A. What is the value of PN? A. Sorry, what is the value of Qn? Qn is B sin theta, and that is A plus B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. Therefore, tan beta equal to B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. This is the direction. What is the direction? Tan beta equal to B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. So already we have calculated the magnitude and direction portion of what? Resultant. From which law? From triangle law of vector addition. So I told you what I told you. Two vectors can be added only when they are in the same direction. Two vectors can be added directly only when they are in the same direction. So if they are not in the same direction, there are two different methods. To add them. Number one is called triangle law of vector addition. That already everything we have studied about this. Yes. And next we are going to study parallelogram law of vector addition. Now, you see, if a vector is in this direction, another vector is in this direction. Suppose this vector is A and this vector is B. One example I will take here, try to understand. Suppose a object is there and this object is tied with two threads. So if two persons are pulling this object with the same force, what will happen to this object? Where it will move, in this direction or in this direction? The answer is very obvious. It will neither move in this direction nor in this direction. Where it will move in the middle. It will move in the middle. So parallelogram law of vector addition says that if one vector is in this direction, another vector is in this direction, then the resultant is found in the middle. Resultant is found in the middle. This resultant is R. This resultant is R. So R vector equal to what? A vector plus B vector. According to parallelogram, R vector equal to parallelogram law of vector addition, R vector equal to A vector plus B vector. Now you think, if I draw a vector equal to this B vector is there. So since this vector is directed in this direction and this vector is also in this direction, and they are also equal in magnitude, then what can I say? They are equal vectors or not? Obviously, they will be equal vectors. Similarly, for this A, I can draw like this, so it will become a parallelogram or not. That is why it is called parallelogram law of vector addition. Now, according to parallelogram law, this R vector is equal to what? A vector plus B vector. Correct? But similarly, you see, this R vector must also be equal to A vector plus, suppose this is B prime vector. B prime vector or not? According to which law? This is according to triangle law. According to triangle law. This is A, this is B, and this one is resultant. But this B vector and B prime is same or not? In case of this B, can I write this B also or not? Yes, we can write this B in case of this B. So what we can see that triangle law in parallelogram has same meaning. R vector equal to A vector plus B vector. Okay? All they are equal, they are same. But in meaning they are not same, sorry. They are same, mathematically they seems to be same, but their meaning is not same. First one, it forms a triangle and these two vectors are related in this pattern. But in parallelogram law, resultant is found in the middle. Their meaning is not same, but they seems to be same in mathematical calculations. Similarly, this is B vector. So parallel to this, if I draw one big vector here, that is B vector. And similarly, parallel to this A vector, if I draw here, one vector that is A vector. So this will become parallelogram or not? And similar things if you proceed here, this will give you resultant according to parallelogram law, and this will give you direction according to parallelogram law. Means what? The magnitude of resultant and the magnitude of resultant in both the triangle law and the parallelogram is same, and also direction also remains same. Now, so this is about triangle law and parallelogram law. Now let me give you some numerical. You try to solve it out, and if you find any problem, then obviously you can comment. Two forces, 5 Newton and 7 Newton, act on a particle with an angle of 60 degrees between them. Find the resultant force. This is question number 1. Second question, you can note. Two vectors, both equal in magnitude, have the resultant equal in magnitude of the either. Find the angle between the two vectors. This is second question. Third question also you can note. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio of 3:5 gives a resultant of 35 Newton. Gives a resultant of 35 Newton. If the angle of inclination be 60 degree, calculate the magnitude of each force. Calculate the magnitude of each force. Some more are there. Some more are there. You can note. A motorboat is racing toward north at 25 km per hour. At 25 km per hour. And a water current in that region is 10 km per hour. In that region is 10 km per hour. In the direction 60 degree east of south. Find the resultant velocity of the boat. Find the resultant velocity of the boat. Another question. On a certain day, rain was falling vertically at the speed of 35 meter per second. Stop. A wind started blowing after some time with a speed of 12 meter per second in the east to west direction. In which direction should a boy waiting at a bus stop hold his umbrella? So I hope you have understood. In the next video, I'll try to teach multiplications of vector, which is really important. Multiplication of vector. So we have completed now triangular vector addition. So we'll see first resolution of vector, and then we'll see multiplication of vector in the next video. Thank you very much. Keep watching.